So Pieter, can you tell us a bit about your history and your role at the company and the company itself, a bit about some of your solutions?
Okay, just from my side, I've started off doing consulting and mining in early 90s, 91. From there on all the way involved with business consulting, try to get a more effective mining operation going. In 95, we started off doing a consulting company, our own company, away from a UK company, and that led us into the old GMSI. GMSI is Graphic Mining Solutions International. It was owned by Anglo American, the gold division part, and they acquired our consulting company. And GMSI, 13th of March 97 was formed. And from there on, the company transformed. There was a merger of acquisition that happened from Kajima, of the old AST, then Kajima AST, and then Kajima. And about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we did a LBO with new partners in MineRP. We also changed the name from GMSI to MineRP. And the new partners in our business is now Corvest, RMB, private equity leg of Rand Merchant Bank, Maso Plattner, Ventures in his personal capacity, so it's nothing to do with SAP, and then management. Within the Corvest environment, we've got a fourth shareholder, Shalamuka. It's our BEE partner, and we are now 100% it's a private owned company, but it's 100 of it's a proudly South African company. So that's briefly the history of MineRP. What we do, focus on technology. In the mine technical services environment, where technical systems is very saturated market. There's a lot of applications in that environment. The current count, not 100% sure of that, but it's about 323 different applications supporting mine technical systems environment. And we decided it's an overcrowded environment. We need to move away from that, still supporting the people in that environment, but move to the enterprise side, not to compete with ERPs of the world in the commercial systems, but enable consolidation and collaboration within the mine technical systems environment, and we develop a framework in that space.
Absolutely, you got a partnership with IBM as well. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, we believe that to develop a solution for mine technical systems environment, there's no company that's big enough in this space that can pull it off. You can only do that with the right partners. And we invested a lot of time and effort through Picker, Potts University and Wits University to ask who's the best people in the analytical optimization environment in the world, in other industries, and that we can bring those products to bear in the mining space. And the answer was IBM. So it's just over a year now that we've got this partnership, where we focus on consolidation on the mine technical data, and then we translate that data in a format that any optimization tool or analytical tools that's the guys use in big data, in the big data environment, can be used to do analysis and optimization. And that's why the partnership with IBM. We're busy with two big projects, prove the concept. Their cluster just did a presentation also here at the Indaba. We explained some of the results that we've got, but for an underground operation on one shaft to get anything between 5 to 10% improvement on MPV, that's small. And then the tools are also there to control that. So that's what we're doing with IBM.
So you can guarantee companies that 5 to 10% saving as a minimum.
The first step.
And then, so what are the projections going forward then?
This is only focusing on just on the mining side. If you've got a full enterprise optimization, and that's what's nice with IBM is, if you've got a master business schedule where you focus on all the supporting services, supporting the mining industry, if you bring that all into the optimization environment, you will get real results. And we believe that there will be a big change in improvement if you bring focus on that also. So the 5-10% was only focusing on the normal mining stuff, better planning, better spending of your capital, control on the capital side, but it's not optimizing your supply chain, your engineering and all the other supporting services. And as soon as you get that in, you will see a difference, a much bigger difference.
And how easy is it for the user to connect the dots to make that saving?
The challenge for optimization is data and the quality of data. That's always a challenge. And we as MineRP are working in this space for the last 10 years when we start developing our spatial database. And it's only after 10 years and technology that improved that we've got the right tools in that space. So to collect data from all these 323 applications, you're still using the Create applications, but get the data in a way, it's much easier. Still work that you need to do around that, but it's visible where you need to improve your data. The example that I've got for quite a big platinum producer in South Africa, it was about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then you can already see some of the results. And then from there on, it's just ongoing improvement to get a better result out of that. But data is quite critical.
And in terms of health and safety, making the mine a safer place, this obviously ties in quite closely with that.
What's nice with the whole spatial environment, mining is always a black box. You don't always know where the people are operating. Surface is much easier, surface mining, but underground it's quite a challenge. But what's nice with the consolidation and collaboration of your data from all these different applications, bringing it in one area. We've got tools. One of the tools that we've got is Mineforms, using flow-centric in that space, where the system will send SMS or warnings to different people in the organization, making them aware that we are nearing a safety pillar, or you're busy mining in the safety pillar. You're getting closer to a holing area. Be careful for those type of things. So the quality of data that you've got and the visibility of the data in the spatial environment enables you to get much better traction in that space. But within MineRP, we also have got a safety and risk G-Risk is our application, and one client we've got more than 3,000 users. So we integrate that with also with the spatial data and get a focus within enterprise-wide risk management. I think the potential for us now getting consolidation and collaboration with your commercial systems, it's going to help us to get also the financial side for risk in that space better viewed, better focus on that, and I think the results that you're going to get in that space, it's going to be huge, but that still needs to be tested. So. And
energy is another big buzzword at the conference. How is this technology going to help in that regard?
That's why we partner with IBM. IBM's got world-class energy-saving tools. On all the optimization tools, they are working all over the world in that space. So what we're doing is bring the mining operations closer to that. So that's something that we will do going forward. We're not going to, from our side, start playing in those optimization things. What's nice is some of the tools that's behind that is what we're also bringing to bear to the mining side, and we know there will be some good benefits that you're going to get from that side. But working closely with them, bring that to the mine technical side, is going to enable mining guys to get a better control on that.
So is the mine now almost like a motor car where it has sensors? It'll tell you you've got somebody in front of you who's coming close up, and be careful of pedestrian there.
Yeah, well, they've got already that in some of the other areas. And that's the easy part that you can get. But you not always know where you're mining. You don't know what's next door. It's just a rock in front of you. You're mining into a safety pillar. What's the impact of your rock engineering? Your stress underground. So all those kind of things are visible, and you know what's happening. In one of the clients, we can see almost weekly what's the stress impact on daily, hourly. The stress impact on the rock in that environment, and it will say this is a dangerous area. Graphically, people must be aware when you enter into those areas. So I think if you want to optimize this environment, you need to focus on the enterprise, not just on thin slices within that environment. We're far beyond that point that to get real revenue benefit out of the solution just to focus on one dimension of that. You need to get the full enterprise view on that. And the risk is one of that.
Absolutely. And can you compare the mine of when you first started working to where we're at now, the sort of massive changes?
Just if you talk 91, there was almost, I think, 1 or 2 PCs of computers on the mine. All the things were manually. People spent hours just to record some of the things in a visual way on plans. All those things are now immediately available. There were still challenges. If you take in the mining industry, move all these type of things 3D, because a lot of people talk about spatial on surface, but going in 3D, what mining requires and that's needed for mining, it's complex data sets, and there was a stage where technology wasn't ready to support that. Where we are now with in-memory databases, we're working very closely with HANA, of SAP, as well as the solutions that we've got in the IBM side, where you can do calculations and bring all these massive data sets together immediately. It's real-time information. So the biggest change is real time was once a month, 12 times a year. Now it's every second you've got the information available, and I think the industry is struggling to get in step and in pace with where technology is going, and I think that's the opportunity for us to improve this space.
And you guys aren't scared to collaborate with rivals to have a better product?
No, we are working really close with that. What's nice for MineRP is because we are working in this space for more than 10 years, we patented 3 things, and we believe for us, for a small company, that's what we need to protect. It's in global patents, and we know we are protected in that space, but that's a niche area. For us to get the real benefit for those patents, you need to work with big players like the IBMs or the SAPs or General Electrics, all the different companies that's in that space. So we're not afraid to work with that. And on the Create side, there's 91 vendors in the mine technical system side creating these 323. There's a lot of competition with that, but the biggest one in that space is generating about, I don't think they at this stage on $100 million a year on revenue to support companies that's doing 60-70 billion dollars of revenue. It's just not, you can't do that. So you need to do it with the right size of players, people that's got the money to do the R&D and to develop solutions that will solve the problems of the mining industry. So there's no other way. If you think you're going to do it on your own in the difficult market, it's not going to work.
And finally, how much of your products is designed and manufactured in South Africa?
We start off with the bulk of our development in South Africa out of the Anglo-American group. We had a stage development shop in Brisbane as well as in Sudbury in Canada. Good thing of that was get the experience from the international side of the market, not just the tabular ore bodies, a typical South African type of mining. As soon as we've got the knowledge and understanding and good partnerships in the international business, we move that all into one area to develop an enterprise solution. You need to know what the left hand must know what the right hand is doing. Our office is now in Centurion, where we've got 80 software, the technical people, 85 technical people doing the development work. And I'll say all the IP belongs in South Africa. So we are proudly South Africa. We are doing developing solutions for the developing countries. That's the main focus, although we've got a lot of things in Australia and North America. But we are proudly South Africa, and it's all in South Africa.
And would your numbers be able to tell you where the next growth market is going to be in Africa?
Well, if you just take on the reports from PwC, Deloitte and all those kind of things, exploration, big focus is Africa. If you take what's happening in the commodity market and all those kind of things, that's possible for us to play in that environment. One of our tools that we developed is Due Government, and that's a tool to manage a continent or a country's natural and mining resources. So it's possible for us with the partnership with IBM to print a balance sheet to see what's your status of your mineral resources. Now, it's not just on surface and the lease areas that you manage. It's also to manage the quality of the operations underground. And with that involvement, we're also working closely with the Australian government in tests that we're running in the cloud in Glasterra, the company that we're doing it with, where you can view the geological information of the country in that environment. So if we do it right, it's going to help us to say where's the best place to invest, where's the opportunities, and working with the right partners in that environment, you will know what's all the other risks that's involved, and that's quite a big risk for developing new operations in different areas. But the tools, you can see what's happening on the ore body. We focus on the ore body.
And if you had to sum up the mineral resources of South Africa on a balance sheet, where should we be in terms of productivity in the world stacks?
The big part of our operations is precious metals, narrow reef tabular ore bodies, different type of operation. And if you take all the CEOs' discussions in that space at the Indaba, they all said that efficiency is a big problem because it's labor intensive, it's conventional mining. They all want to move to mechanized. We are involved with some of them with the new R&D work that they do. It's all mechanized, especially if you go gold, going 3.5 km underground. The conditions is very, very difficult. And I don't think it's human possible to work long hours in that environment. So mechanization will help that. But if you take now on your question, efficiencies is very low. If you take, and it's not just in South Africa, it's all over the globe. If you take, I think some of the reports saying that year on year, there's just over the last 3 years, there's 30–40% year on year that the efficiencies is bad, it's going worse. So in the past, what happened in this space in a difficult market, the mining companies were easy to increase their efficiencies by just increase their volume. It's not possible anymore. You can't just increase your volume to get your efficiencies per ton improved. You need to be more effective on the current ore bodies you mine, and I think that's going to be the challenge globally in this space. So R&D, innovation is a key to get that with good information technology systems.